Yo, what's going on, guys? Bexio back, and today we had a brand new video. This time, something a little bit different, something that's not usually on this channel recently, but it does interest me a lot, and I just want to get this video out there to talk about this and just start something happening. So, guys, as we've seen with the stock market, it is just tumbling down, spiraling out of control. There's been millions, billions, and trillions of dollars taken out of the market, forcing prices lower and forcing this kind of crash type scenario. And obviously we all know the effects are from the sickness or illness that shall not be named on YouTube for reasons that everybody already knows. Is YouTube doesn't want people really pushing it and doesn't like it. So we're not going to say it's just the illness that should not be named. But I'm here to say what my strategy is and what I'm doing with my stocks and investments and how I'm reacting to this, as well as what other people, what you should kind of try and be focused on during a time like this where, you know, the market's tumbling down. I think this is a first time for a lot of people, including, you know, myself, to see a bear market of this size. We were in the longest running bull market in history, so I think for a lot of people, seeing this bear market is new and could change the way that they're looking at the stock market. And if you do the wrong things during this time, you're going to make it a lot harder and put yourself in a bad situation, short term and long term, and you just don't want to end up doing that. First thing that you want to do and make sure that you can hold during this time of thoughts of a recession could be coming, and obviously through the stock market dropping in price, is to stay employed, to continue having income coming in so that you don't run into problems where obviously you get laid off or something like that. You want to just try your best to stay employed, and right now would be the time if you want to try and get a raise, ask for a raise, or if you want to try and get a different job, move to a different company or something like that to try and either earn more money or get into a different position, because you'd want to do this before this gets even worse, if it does get worse, and do this before companies freeze hiring or companies start, you know, shorting on the employees and the staff that they're holding. So this would be the first thing you do. It doesn't really have too much to do with the investment side, but you want to keep money coming in and keep an income flowing in. So that is probably the most important thing to do right now. The second thing that you're going to want to focus on is, as long as you followed the golden rule of investing, of where you invest money that you don't need right now, that you don't need to pay bills, you don't need to pay rent, or you don't need it right now for anything, you should be fine to just let it ride out. You should be thoughts on investing in the long term. If you're an investor, is different from a trader. We'll get into that, but investors, you should see this as more of an opportunity to buy in more, because what the market's doing is artificial, and we're going to touch on that a little bit later in the video. But you should think about the long term of your stocks that you hold. So, you know, like Apple isn't going anywhere. Apple's not going to go out of business and just disappear after this goes away. You know, after this illness that should not be named goes away, Apple's not going to disappear. Microsoft's not going to disappear. Ford is not going to disappear. You know, all these companies are still going to be here. They're still going to be making money and producing products and moving on with their company and their day. Just as an investor, you should, you know, realize that now is the time to hold it out. Even though the losses can hurt, and it can hurt a lot to see your money dropping this quickly and have years taken off of the stock market, of this work. And right now we're actually at 4 years have been taken off the stock market. 4 years worth of growth have been wiped out because of this illness. And there's two ways you can think of that is, you know, panicking, getting out of the market, just saying, I'm done with this, which would be in my opinion, would be the wrong way to handle it. I would think now you're in a better position. You've seen what the market has done in those 4 years, and now that we've turned the clock back 4 years artificially, is when you can start thinking about getting into the market again, dollar cost averaging back in, buying those stocks back, in those blue chip companies that you know aren't going to go anywhere and are going to continue to be here and be successful after this goes away. So expanding on that idea of this being an artificial thing being pumped into the market, basically what that means and what I'm talking about is this illness that is going around causing these prices to plummet, causing the market to plummet, is an artificial way of sending the market down. So companies aren't reporting losses, aren't reporting reduced revenue, aren't reporting that people or the demand for their product is no longer there. There's been a lot of things where it's not based on, you know, how companies are working and how the market is working. It's based on the fear of something outside of the market's control, which is why it's really based more off of factors that shouldn't really matter in the long term and are going to be a good chance for people to get into the market now while prices are discounted in a way, especially with it not being based off of companies, you know, revenue reports and companies that saying, you know, like their products, like Apple didn't come out and say they didn't sell the iPhones that they thought they were going to sell, that the demand's going down. It's not based on stuff like that. It's based on stuff outside of the market, which is why, again, it is a good time to get in. If you're not in the stock market, or if you are in and want to get some more, now is a great time to be in. To quote Warren Buffett, I might screw this up. I'll probably have it on the screen, but to quote Warren Buffett, it's something like, it's good to be fearful when people are greedy and greedy when people are fearful, which obviously means during this fear of this illness, it's good to be greedy in terms of don't go over, you know, don't go overboard. Still just follow your plan of investing, put in the same amount of money every month or put in the money that you can at this point right now and continue investing as normal. And you will see great gains in the long term. Maybe the short term, maybe 6 to 14 months is where we're kind of looking at. If this continues down this path and gets worse and stuff, and then the vaccine will take about that 6-month mark. So once the vaccine comes out and people can calm down and get back to rational thinking, the market should have a nice jump up. And as long as you're riding that up wave, you're going to be smiling the whole way up. But if you pull out your money now, if you sold now to try and protect your losses and you were waiting till the market hits the bottom and then buy back in, nobody can time the market. You know, maybe a couple people get lucky and be able to do it, but the vast majority, 99%, will not be able to do it, and you'll just be sitting there on the sideline watching it go up as you hope it goes down one day for you to buy back in. So guys, that is really what you're gonna wanna do. The main steps is the main important thing: stay employed, keep an income coming in so that you have money coming in, and then move on to focusing on your investments and holding them, because you should be held in blue chip stocks and in ETFs and stuff, and to continue dollar cost averaging into the market, because like we've said, everything is artificial at this point in the market and being forced down more than it's going down because of rational reasons. So as long as you follow that and you can come in and live up to another quote, I'm not sure who said it, I'm sure I'll find it somewhere, but it's riches are made in recessions. So you can continue to invest what you can, and you will most likely over the long term see a good return from that investment during a time where people are scared to invest and people refuse to, because the majority of people want to get in the market when it's good because they have FOMO at that time, and they want to get out because they have a fear of losing more because of something out of their control. But as long as you're holding the long term, the market has always returned on average a 7% return a year. You know, some years are higher, some years are lower, some years are positive, some years are negative. So, but holding for the long term, it has never returned a negative result over a 20-year period. So just be in there for the long term, continue investing money that you don't necessarily need right now, and you should come out on the other side of this smiling and happy that you did what you did, while the other people who pulled their money out and waited to time the market are going to be unhappy, realizing how much money they missed out on making. As well as the market responds to things irrationally. It's irrational, the entire market. So just because this illness is going around and, you know, scaring everybody, the next day the market opens up, it could just take off one day, just change it up and just skyrocket out of nowhere because it's irrational and people can't time it because the market doesn't even know what it's going to do. So that's why going in the long term and holding long term will much more than likely return you a better result every single time than trying to time the market. Guys, if you enjoyed this type of videos, these type of talking about investment stuff, I know I started a second channel for this, but I'm going to post this on this main channel here. It's not the normal content here, but it is content that I have done in the past. So let me know what you guys think of this video, what you guys think of this illness of the market, what's happening now. I'm going to try my best to continue rolling out content based on this, you know, gaming and everything, and merge it into one and just see what happens with the channel. So guys, let me know what your strategy is, what you guys are doing during this weird times, during this kind of bear market that nobody has experienced before. And don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. I was Sport Real Channel, bro. I'll see you guys in my next video.